The Labour Party, now the Labour government, has totally betrayed the badgers in our country.
What are you doing here?
Just lobbying outside the Labour Party conference.
What are you lobbying for? ABBA?
I'm just here because I don't like Keir Starmer or his government.
Every year outside Labour conference, there are protesters. You can see them behind me. Some of them are dressed up, some of them are playing music. We asked who they are and what they want. Who are you?
Personally, David.
David?
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
Just lobbying outside the Labour Party conference.
What are you lobbying for? ABBA?
Yeah, ABBA basically, as you can tell from the singing voice. Obviously to try and rejoin the European Union. Basically, they still will not fully engage with the idea of rejoining the European Union, despite the opinion polls, the shift in the obvious shift in the demographics. You're getting young people coming onto the voting.
How would we rejoin, just out of interest, how would we rejoin the EU? Because we had a historic referendum for Brexit, and as much as you might not like it, the majority of people did vote to leave. So we would have to have another referendum.
It's highly likely that would be the case.
I am here because the Labour Party, now the Labour government, has totally betrayed the badgers in our country. The Conservatives killed nearly over 230,000 badgers, blaming for spreading TB. In the Labour manifesto it said killing badgers is ineffective. But did they stop? No. So I'm standing here to let people know that the Labour Party has totally betrayed our wildlife in this country.
Have you spoken to any ministers, Betty?
I have spoken to ministers. I won't reveal what we've discussed.
But it is important that we make sure cows aren't getting sick and dying, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Who are you and why are you here?
So I'm a member of Climate Resistance. We're a grassroots group that is campaigning for climate and social justice. And we came here this week to challenge Rachel Reeves because, we believe that Labour is failing on the climate, it's failing on stopping the genocide in Palestine.
Rule breaking.
One of your colleagues was dragged out of Rachel Reeves' speech.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. We expected security to, ask the people to leave, maybe even remove them if they refused to leave. But we didn't expect the dragging, the chokehold that, my friend experienced. He now has bruises on his neck and on his arms. And that was, kind of a complete escalation on anything we've seen at something like this before.
Obviously, in this country, we have the right to peaceful protest, but at a conference like this, security is going to be on everyone's minds. You didn't think that they might be concerned about that?
We thought they were concerned, which is why, we kept our protest very overtly peaceful. The two protesters, they stood up where they were sat. There was no attempt to move closer to the stage, for example, which we understand could put security on edge.
Who are you? Why are you here?
I'm just here because I don't like Keir Starmer or his government.
Why don't you like Keir Starmer?
Because I don't believe he's for the working people of the UK.
So the key message that we wanted to get across is that we voted for change, and yet Labour is just giving us more of the same. The same when it comes to the climate, the same when it comes to Palestine, and not kind of unequivocally calling for a ceasefire and stopping arms sales, and the same when it comes to austerity and economic measures.
Rachel Reeves has said that there won't be a return to austerity, though, and she has signalled that there might be capital spending.
The issue is that they're still producing policies that are going to hit the poorest the hardest. So whether that's the winter fuel payments, whether it's not...
Lots of millionaires get the winter fuel payment.
Yes, but so do lots of people who, the point is when a universal right is universal, it's because it's a right for everyone. Universal healthcare is accessible and should be accessible to anyone regardless of income.
On the climate, what do you think of Ed Miliband's policies so far?
I think it's great that Labour have said that they won't produce new oil and gas licences. However, this is pretty meaningless if they don't also revoke the licences for Rosebank and for Jackdaw and other oil and gas fields that were approved under the Tories. It's been years that scientists have been saying we can't have any new oil and gas, so we also need to revoke those.
Ed Miliband has suggested that landlords might be banned from renting out properties if they don't meet the EPC energy ratings, so that means their home's more energy efficient. That sounds pretty good to me.
It does sound good, and we're really excited that there should be some progress on the last 14 years of Tory rule. The concern is that it's not good enough. We need radical action on the climate because, for the last 12 months we've seen us consistently exceeding 1.5 degrees of warming. That wasn't meant to happen for another 40 years, so we need to take action accordingly.